Hola, bienvenidos a Café Americano. Hoy platicaremos con una amiga, una jugadora internacional del fútbol americano, equipada. Ella es Ambra Marcucci. Muy buenas tardes. Comenzamos.
Café Americano.
Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes, Europa. Ambra, how you do? Oh, buenas tardes,
fine.
Sergio, ¿cómo estás?
Fine, thank you.
Thank you, fine.
Okay. Sergio, te toca.
Yes. We always make this question for everybody who comes to our program.
Yes.
And it's about, when did you get the clinch to the football? What happened when you decided to this is the sport that I want to go on?
Okay, so actually I've always been a soccer player. Like my father was a semi-professional soccer player. So
Okay.
I grew up with soccer. I started playing soccer when I was like 11 years old. I started playing with a girls team, but I also started training with boys. So I'm very used to train with boys.
Okay.
And so I did that for about like 10 years. And then I moved to Portugal to do like an Erasmus. It's like a small part of my studies. I decided to do it in Portugal. And there was this open day for football. And I was like, well, let me just give it a try, because I had friends who were playing American football, like some guys. And so I got in touch with football, let's say, pretty soon when I got to Portugal. So these guys told me, hey, we're going to organize a tryout for football. Do you want to come? And I was like, well, I will try it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with trying. I don't know if I will like it, but it's okay. I will do it. So I decided to go to this open day, and then I found out it was flag football, and I was like, "This is not what I wanted."
You was trying to find the hit ones.
Yes, like I was expecting like to see like American football. I was expecting to see like the equipment, the helmets, and everything. So I came there, and all we got was a ball and some flags, and I was like, what is this? But actually the training, that open day, went very well, and somehow I really started to like the game. And that's where I actually started straight away to train flag football with this female team. This tryout actually, the purpose of this tryout was to start a first female flag team. So so all the girls that came were actually pretty interested. So we started right away to train, and that's how I started with flag.
So it was 10 years ago?
This happened when I was, no, actually the first few years in Portugal, I played soccer. So when I was like, I guess I was 24, 25 when I started playing flag football. So I discovered the sport pretty late.
Oh, yours looks like 27 years old, no more.
Well, actually, I'm 29.
Okay, you see, you're younger. So if you start flag, you like it. How you change to when or who bring you to the equipment of the past football?
Yes, so I played flag football for like 1.5 years because we had like several tournaments in Portugal, like mixed with men and women together. We also went to play in Spain, so it was very fun. Like we had a lot of competition. And like 1.5 years after playing flag football, I was like, okay, you know what? I really want to start to play tackle now. So, but there was no tackle for women in Portugal. Like there was not. So I was like, okay, so if there's no tackle football, I will create my team. So me together with some other girls and my coach from flag football, we decided to start this first female team of tackle football in Portugal. And we knew that it was going to be hard, because being the first is always hard. You know, you have to start from scratch. There's no league, there's nothing. But, you know, someone has to be the first. So we just decided to be the first. And that's how we created the Porto Dyers Women, which is still the only female tackle team in Portugal. And that was by the end of 2018. So
Okay.
my experience in tackle football is very small yet.
Okay. Did you say that it was the first team in Portugal? About
Yes,
you don't have a league, so it was only one team. How you do
exactly.
the tournament? How you make these games against some, or where you play? Maybe you play in another country.
Yeah, so that's actually the difficult part about it because we've been just training and practicing for like 2 years without playing because there was no league and we could not just join a male league. That was impossible. We were all rookies and we were just starting. So we decided to play a game in Spain because in Spain actually football for females actually very popular, and Spain is around the corner. So we decided to take a trip to Spain to play against a team. We took a trip of 7 hours by car.
Yes.
We had to pay everything ourselves because we had no sponsors, zero. So it was all because of passion, love for the game. And but until now, it was just that game that we played because we have no other opportunities in Portugal. So if we want to play, we have to go abroad. But going abroad costs money. We don't have sponsors. We have to pay everything by ourselves. So things were pretty hard for us, and are still is still hard for us to to develop
Yes.
this sports in the country. And actually, the Federation of Portugal of football is not really trying to help us. So we were pretty much standing alone. And this was for me also a reason to just move on with my own career because I was like, in Portugal, I'm not going to go anywhere. If I want to be better at this sport, I have to look for other opportunities. So I pretty much left my team. I'm still in touch with them. I mean, it's not that I completely left, but I just started to, think a bit more for myself and for my own career because football for me is just not a hobby. It was from the beginning, it was something way more serious. So yeah, that's how it all started.
Okay. Let me stop here a little bit to present you Andres. Andres Gomez is also a Mexican football player. He's playing
Hello.
professional football because in Mexico we have a professional league.
Oh
He
wow,
have
nice to meet you.
I think 3 years playing a professional, and really he is one of the one who start this project about the Café Americano.
Oh
So
great.
Andres, say welcome or say to Ambra.
Thank you very much for the introduction, Chief. Hello, Ambra. How are you? I'm so
Hey.
sorry. I'm so sorry that I got late. It's just that I went for a little jogging. It was a little difficult because last night we were having a party, but it's okay. So I was trying to catch up, and I just heard like you were like speaking, and I said like, hey, they've been talking for hours, but well, I can see that you like to talk. That's great. That's great because that's why we're here, right? To talk a little bit. I was trying to catching up. I heard that there is no much support for sports, but we're talking about specifically for women or in general for the football.
No, like in Portugal, it's more because of football. There is a lot of sports, and like there are very good athletes in Portugal, like female athletes in all types of sports, like volleyball,
Mhm.
even soccer, like all types of sports. But football is still new, and
Okay.
even like for males, there's like I think in total we have like maybe 8 teams in Portugal that play like males that play football. So even for males, the sport is not that developed yet. So imagine for females how hard.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
it's more for the female football actually, not in general. No.
Okay, okay. Well, then I heard that when you started playing, it was for you. It was more than just play sports, like just for doing something, right? So, uh, why was this? I mean, how did you decided to start football, and why it was so much more than just a game for you? Than just because I mean, if let me give you a picture. Uh, I play football because of my family, right? All my
Yeah.
family plays football, so it's so much in my family. Uh, it's almost like a religion. But you're telling me
Okay.
that in Portugal there's not that much football, but then it's so
Yeah.
important to you. How did this happen?
Well, because you probably missed the first part of the interview, because I told Coach Sergio that I grew up with soccer, and because my father was a professional soccer player. He was a professional player in the Netherlands, because I'm Dutch, and my father is Italian. So he was a professional player in the Netherlands and in Italy as well. So when I was 11 years old, I started playing soccer, and I did that for like about 10 years or a little bit more. And I actually played soccer on a pretty high level. I was almost going to the national team of the Netherlands. And in the Netherlands, soccer is very, very high level. The girls are very good and it's very serious.
Yeah.
So, yes. So that's, I've always been an athlete. So let's put it that way. So then I moved to Portugal. Yes, like then I moved to Portugal for my studies to finish my master's. And there is where I got in touch with football. Like I had some friends, like some guys who were playing American football. And for me, that was the first time I got in touch with football, because I knew it from the Super Bowl. I knew it from the internet, but it never really interested me because I was a soccer player. So then we got this. So then these guys, they organized an open day for football for females. And they asked me like, well, Ambra, since you like sports, do you wanna give it a try? And I was like, okay, well, why not? I was in my Erasmus, like I don't know if you know what that is. It's like a exchange between countries. So I went for 6 months to Portugal to finish my studies. So it was for me a whole new experience. It was not only studying, but also, having fun, trying new stuff. So I was really in that mood of, trying new things. So so I went to that tryout, and I was expecting it would be tackle football, So, but eventually it was flag football. So I was a little bit disappointed. I was like, what is flag football? We're not going to tackle each other. We're just going to rip some flags.
Yes.
What is this? So, so that's how I got in touch with flag football, and later on with tackle football. The thing is that when I started playing tackle, I was one of the co-founders of the first female American football team of Portugal. I just realized it was something that was really made for me. So we had practices only one time per week with the team, but I knew I wanted to get better. Like just for me, I love the fact, I just started to love football so much that I wanted to get better and better. So I started to train by myself almost every day. I put my videos online of my workouts and stuff. And so in that way, I got in touch with a lot of interesting people all over the world, coaches, players. So pretty soon I understood that football was something for me much more than just a sport or a way of keeping myself fit. So yeah, that's actually, I think, an answer on your.
You fell in love with the game. You fell in love with the game
straight away.
But more than the game.
Okay.
Okay. Go. Okay. You fell in love, but more than a game with all the process, because you're telling me that you really like to train, because there's a lot of people. Here in Mexico, flag football is like it's like a big deal. Here in Mexico, everybody plays flag football, and it's a big deal. But they don't like to practice. They don't like to get better day by day. Many people just like to show up on Sunday or Wednesday night, whenever they like to play, and that's it. Right, so that's the game. But you fell in love with the process, like you said. You really are an athlete, because that's what an athlete does.
Yeah, and that's just not. There's not many people who, even if you play football like on a regular basis, not many people like practices. Some people just want to play games. Like even in my team, like I'm training with a male team here in Italy now. I'm in Italy at the moment. And some of them just don't show up. They say they love football, they like to play, but in the end, they don't show up for practice. And
exactly.
I'm like, so, that's part of it. You cannot just play games. If you want to be better, you have to show up for practice. And how awesome it is to see your own development. That's what I love to see for myself. Like I see myself from the beginning and where I am now. And it motivates me even more. And it's just, I think it's more like a personality thing, because I always want more and more and more and more and more.
Yeah.
And for me, a challenge is, I like challenges. I don't like things to come easy. That's why I struggled a lot for football, and I made so many sacrifices. But that's what makes it even more beautiful for me.
Yeah, that's the mentality that every coach would wish to have from a player.
That's the kind of player that we want to have. When you're coaching, we want players like you.
I have a couple of questions. One of it is a very interesting. I know you tell us that your father is a professional soccer player.
Yes.
And I want to know what is in his mind after what you play in American football, what he say? Hey, this is not the football that I teach you.
Well, actually, to be honest, like today it was the first time I asked my father, "Hey, Dad, what do you think about me playing football?" Like it was the first time ever, because my father doesn't really talk so much. He's like someone who's, he sees and he notices everything, but he doesn't talk so much. So I was like, let me just ask it so he will tell me. So I was like, "Hey, Dad, so what do you think about football? I mean, I was always a soccer player. You love soccer. What do you think about it?" And he was like, "Well, I'm really proud of you, Ambra. Everything that you're doing for the sports and for other people, for other girls to get to know the sport, for future female players. And of course, it's a rough sport, but every sport in every sport you can get injured. So he was like,
Yes.
as a parent, it's hard to see because you don't want to see your kids get hurt. But in the end, he how can I say, like, he started to understand the game of football. Like in the beginning for him, it was like, okay, the Super Bowl, just like for me, like everybody just knows the Super Bowl. But since I started playing, he started to really learn about it, but because he wanted to. Like he even went with me to the field to play. Like he wanted to learn about it because he was so interested in the passion that he saw in me. Like he saw
That's
me being so happy on the field and playing football. So
that's
in the end, like for my parents, the most important thing is that I'm happy. So if this makes me happy, they will support me. Like that's how it works. But my dad is
Excellent.
very, very happy with everything that
That's
I'm
just
doing for the
that's
sports.
just great. That's great. Because
Yeah.
I'm a new father. My daughter Juliet, she's 6 months old, and
Oh, congrats.
and thank you, and of course everybody thinks that she's gonna play football, right, or flag
Of
football or something,
course.
because I want her to be, and in my head I want her to be a flag football player or a football
Yes.
player, whatever. I want her to be an athlete, right? But at the end of the day, I want to be some type of like your father. I mean, if she's happy, I know she wants to dance and she's happy with that. Well, I'm happy. Look,
Oh, come on. She's so cute.
okay.
Hello.
Hola, Juliet.
Julia,
Oh, she's super cute.
thank you.
Hey, Juliet.
Tell me,
Hello.
which position are you playing?
So I play wide receiver and running back. Those are my favorite positions. I'm
Okay.
really an offensive
I
player.
see a
Yes.
couple of videos from you. One long run from the right side.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. You have all the
Yes.
technique that is needed in a running play. And by
Yeah.
your size and your size, I think
Yeah.
you will be a very good fullback. I don't know.
How
The people in front of you will say, "Hey, I don't want number in
how
front."
tall are you?
I'm only 1 meter 75. Like people think I'm much
Only
taller because
175. Come on, you're
yes.
tall. You're tall.
Oh
I
well.
mean, here in
Well,
Mexico, an average girl is 162, 161. So you're tall.
Yeah.
You're tall.
Well, actually, Dutch people are very tall, so that's the advantage of being Dutch, right? But I always wish I was a little bit taller, just a little bit more.
okay, Ambra, I have another question
Yes.
regarding COVID. What what happened with the 2020? How affect the COVID to the football or to your football? Because I understand that you do your football by yourself also, and you're
Yes.
trying to find some places in another teams. What
Yes.
happened with Ambra and the COVID in 2020?
Okay, so in 2020, in Portugal, we completely stopped practicing, playing, like everything. And this was for me hard, but since I'm someone who likes to train by herself as well, I just kept doing that because that was still possible. So I kept training, even if we were in lockdown. I went to my terrace outside in the rain, doesn't matter. I just went to train, because for me the COVID was not an excuse to just stand still. I mean, there was actually the right moment for you to work on your personal skills or to work on your mental skills. Like people like to make so many excuses, and for me everything is an opportunity to get better. So
Mhm.
actually during COVID I started to train a lot more. Also mentally I started to read some psychological books about the mind, how your mind
Uh-huh.
can work in your favor. So, and actually in April 2020, which was last year during COVID, I got a call from New York if I was interested in playing for the New York Stars. Like there was this new league, professional league for females that they were building, the WFLA.
Yes.
And this rapper, I don't know if you know him, Ja Rule.
Yes, I know. I know.
Yes, he created this team for New York, and he called me, and I still can remember that day that he called me, because Ja Rule has a very typical voice, right?
Yes.
And so on Instagram they saw my videos. That's why they contacted me. They were like, hey, we saw your videos, and we are starting this new team, this professional team for females, and we want to see your availability. So this rapper Ja Rule, he called me and he was like, hey, so we saw your videos and we are very interested in offering you an agreement to play for the New York Stars. And I was like, wait, what? Wait, really?
Yes.
Is this real?
This is next level.
It was next level.
And
yeah.
And COVID kept you from doing that.
Exactly. So they were actually supposed to start the league last year in May, because I got a call in April and they were supposed to start, I guess, I don't know, May or in summer, at least to put the team together and start training. But then slowly we got to understand they were trying to all the time postpone the seasons, but then they were like, okay, guys, this year is going to be impossible. We have to do it in 2022, which is probably going to happen. So for me, it was another motivation to just, train even more. So they sent me this agreement, what I signed. So I have an agreement with the New York Stars, which was for this year, but now it's going to be for next year. But it was so tricky because when he called me, like, I only played 2 American football games in my life, like 2 games. So I was like, God, like, this is real. I was so confused, but probably they saw that my willpower, the wish to get better, the wish to learn, the wish to develop myself. And I think they were like, that's a good base and we can always teach her the rest. So that's probably how they recruited me, that they saw like I was a hardworking athlete and they could, mold me or in the way they wanted. So yeah.
Let me tell you a little bit about your feeling, because here in Budapest we have I'm coaching the Budapest Wolves.
Yes.
And we have a ladies team, but the ladies team is very good, but we are the only one who have a ladies team in Hungary. So what we do is our team is registered and is playing in the Austrian League. The Austrian League have a lot of women's teams.
Yeah.
So we are always traveling to go and have the game. And
it's not easy.
This is very good. If you want to join, welcome. You have experience, and then you go back to New York.
Oh well, that's very nice of you. Thank you. I will remember.
You could even stop by Mexico. Here in Mexico, there's a lot of female football teams, like tackle football. The level is not that good because of what we were talking a little ago, that they don't like to train to be better. Like they only like to show the game. But if you want to stop by, we can make it happen. Now, I have a question. Who is your role model? I'm talking maybe like a football player from the NFL, but I don't know. Maybe you could say like, okay, Michael Jordan, something like that. Who is someone who you look like? Hey, I want to be like that guy or that girl.
Exactly. Okay, so that's an interesting question. Let me see. Like if it's about like an NFL player, I used to really watch Alvin Kamara, the way he trains. Like it's crazy. Like I try to copy one of his workouts, because this guy is working super hard. And that's what I like. Like if you're a role model, you show that you have the love for the game, but you also love the process. You love to work out. So, and the same is actually for Des Bryant. Like I've been following his journey, and this guy, like he really, he came from a very bad situation, but he had everything to choose the wrong path, but somehow with the right mindset, he just he managed to be like this amazing football player. And so this is for me the most important thing. Like, you have to have it on the right mindset to succeed. Like, you can be the best athlete ever, you can have the best body ever, but if your mind is not right, if you're mentally weak, you will never succeed, or you will never get to that next level. So this is what I saw with Des Bryant, and this is what really inspired me.
I completely agree with you. I'm not a Cowboy fan. I will never be, but I was a fan of Des Bryant. And what happened with him, he was so good playing college football, and then when he got to the Dallas Cowboys, he was so good playing football, but he had like this thing. His mindset was not right, and that's what happened to getting kicked out of the league. And I was like, okay, he has so much talent, he won't bounce back, but he did. So what you're talking about, what you said, that when you were in lockdown, that you were training, but also you focused on getting mentally better.
Yes,
that's I don't know how to say, that's super important, and it talks really, really good about you, that you take care of that part, because many athletes, they don't take care of that part, and that's what keep them from being or getting into the next level.
exactly.
That New York take it.
You should.
Sorry, I did not hear.
I'm sure that's why New York think about it.
Yeah, because they saw it. I mean, I have been talking with you like maybe 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and I can tell your mindset, it's different.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that some people have it naturally, but some people need to learn how to use their mind in their favor, because it's not always easy to be under pressure. When you try to get better, you feel pressure from outside. Like, I felt that all the time. Like, I during my journey as a football player, like, I got in touch with a lot of people, and I saw a lot of girls that played better than me, and it gave me a lot of pressure as well. Like, oh God, I need to get better, I need to be better, I need to be better. So if you have the right mindset, and you know how to use your mind in your favor, you can do so much more. Like, I think performance is like 70% here and 30% your body. So and that's what I was missing that a lot. Like, I was physically in shape, but I felt that I was missing something mentally. So I was like, okay, now I need to focus on this part, because this will bring me to the next level. And that's how I how I leveled up in that way.
And what happened with you, or what comes in your mind when you decided also to train and play or with men? Because I read a little bit about you.
Yes.
And something happened with the Portuguese league, and something happened with the Italian league, something happened with you.
Yeah. So actually, when I created the Portuguese Women, which was at the end of 2018, pretty soon I got in touch with this male team from Portugal, from another city. They contacted me. They were like, "Yo, Ambra, we are short of players. We need someone to play games, like a new player." And they were like, "Are you interested?" And I was like, of course I'm interested, but I have no experience at all, and I will be playing straight away with guys. That's kind of crazy. And they were like, "No, just come train with us. We'll make you ready." So I started training with those guys in Portugal, and they were trying to get me as a player in the team, but the federation did not approve. They were like, first of all, we have no rules about it, a female playing with guys, and secondly, you're a girl, what you want to do with boys, so they didn't even like think twice. They were like, nope, no way. So I was like pretty mad. I was like, look, it doesn't make sense. Like, I understand that maybe you're afraid that I will get hurt, but that's my responsibility. If I want to play with guys and I want to get hurt, what's your problem with that? Like, it could be something like, it could be a first, like a girl playing with guys. Maybe Portugal.
I'm a grown woman. I know what I'm doing. Yeah.
Yes,
no, go ahead.
And even Portugal could gain more visibility in football if they would include a woman. Like, maybe people will start talking. It will be like big news. So it could be something good for Portugal as well, like American football in Portugal. But they didn't care. They were like, no, you're a female. And I was like, okay, no problem. You know what? I will just train with these guys because we do scrimmages. You know, in practice, we also do offense versus defense. So I will just train with the guys. And that's what I did. And then actually pretty soon I got my first invitation to play tackle with the national team of Italy. So my very first game was with the national team of Italy.
Wow. Wow.
My journey has been crazy. You cannot imagine, like crazy. So yeah, like that
With
was
the
in
Team Blue.
2019. What?
Team Blue. How you named it, the Italian team? Is it Blue Team?
Yes, blue team, exactly. Yes, exactly. So and from there on things went so fast. Like so I saw that like last year Portugal was like completely shut down because of COVID. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to stay here. Here I cannot play football. I'm not going to waste a year here in this country not playing football because I will get depressed. Football is my life. So I decided to go to Italy. Like every summer I go to see my family in Italy. So my plan was to stay just for a couple of weeks and then come back to Portugal. Hopefully that COVID would pass. So I was here in summer, and I contacted a coach from a team here, the team that I'm training with right now. So the whole summer I trained with this coach. Like he was helping me a lot with the basics and with everything because there was so much more for me to learn. Like even now, like I can still learn a lot. So this coach was from a local team here, and I trained like whole summer with him. And then I decided to stay and just be part of this male team because they said to me, hey, you can be part of this team. You can train with us. And we're going to try to make you play with us as well. So that's still something that they're trying. I'm not sure if it's going to happen because our first match will be in 2 weeks and I didn't hear nothing yet. So I don't know if I will be playing with them. But so that's why I was like, here in Italy, I can, play tackle. I will stay here for the time being because that's what made me happy.
Let me tell you about a little bit about these leagues. The Hungarian league, where I am, they have they let the women play with male team
Really?
until 19 years old.
Yeah.
So you are 19 years old, you can stay. The Austrian league, they let the women play in the male team, not in the seniors one, but there's no age.
Yes.
And Italy also have some women playing with the teams. I never see them because I never was with an international game with them, but I think they will let you go. I think.
You think?
Hey, you should go there. You should go.
No, she's there.
I'm here. Like I'm here training with the guys. So I'm just waiting for the approval. Like, are they going to let me play or not? I'm so anxious. I really hope they will let me play. Like, I can't wait.
Well, let's hope it'll be that way. Okay, Ambra, you have talked with us and everything about the good things, and it is awesome. But I have a question.
Yes.
I want to know about your detractors, because there's always going to be people who's going to tell you, no, you cannot do it. You already told us about the federation, but tell us a bit more about that and how you handle it. How did you handle it?
Yeah. So yes, like I've had a lot of challenges. A lot. Like unfortunately there's always like also like some hateful people around. So sometimes I receive those messages like, hey, who are you? Like, who you think you are? So there's a lot of hate and there's a lot of struggle. But for me, that's always extra motivation. Like, thank God that I was made like that. Like, I will not just stop doing what I love to do because of these kind of people that don't even mean nothing to me, or they don't mean nothing for my life or for my goals. So for me, like, the harder it is, the nicer it is for me. I like challenges. Like when you manage to do something after battling and struggling so much, it's even more beautiful. Like, I will give you an example. I think I was 24 when I did my PhD in psychology in Portugal. I was the youngest from the class. Like, I was the youngest. I had like my colleagues were 30, over 40. And I felt a little bit intimidated because I was young and I had no experience, but I got into this program of the PhD. Like, they accepted me even without experience. But I was like, okay, you know what? I can learn so much from these people. Like, it's gonna be a challenge, it's gonna be hard, but I'm surrounded by people who are further in life than me, and that's what I like. Like, I like to learn from them. So for me, it was hard to do this PhD, but like the day that I finished it, it was like the most beautiful feeling ever. I was like, yo, I did this. Like, if I can do this, I was 27 when I finished. If I can do this, I can do everything in my life. So this is how I approach everything that I'm doing. Like, if it's too hard doesn't exist for me. Like, I don't want to sound cocky at all. Like, it's just the way that I am, like,
Claro.
I don't know how
Yes.
to explain it in a better way. I just want to like
I
explain
understand.
the way I
Yeah.
think. So
You did it great.
yeah, so that's like, I mean, for me, there's no, I mean, if someone tells me I cannot do it, it's like it goes into this 1 year and it just leaves this year.
Exactly.
Like,
This
it
kind of
motivates me.
people we will have always around, and it's up to us if we take it or leave it. And that's it.
Exactly. And if you are really serious about something, if you really love something, like, you will do it regardless of what others say. So of course I understand that they care about my health, about not getting injured,
Yes.
or spending money on something that I will never earn money with or something. But I mean, for me, it's always worth a try. Like, you know what the thing is, like, a lot of people are afraid to fail. And for me, like, if I fail, I will learn. Like, there's nothing,
Exactly.
I mean, that's how you develop yourself. That's how you get a better person in general. So for me, there's no excuse to not try something, even if it's too hard, even if it's impossible. So yeah.
Oh my God! I need another 10 person like you in my team. Come on.
Yeah, yeah. If I had in my team, if I had 3 girls like you, I would win every single game.
Oh no, come
Here
on.
in Mexico, before COVID, I used to coach flag football female team, and I
Yeah,
love it. I love to coach girls, but
yeah,
there's this thing with the mindset that it's really difficult because they want to play, but they don't want to learn or they don't want to get better. So it's a
yeah,
thing.
that's
Now, so mm, let's go back a few years. When you were a little girl, a child, when did
yes.
you start to think this way? Because I remember when I was young, my father used to tell me this type of thing, like, "Hey, you don't have to listen to the detractors," and
Yes.
so for you, while you were growing up, who was the your guide who taught you to do it this way, like to be so powerful
Well,
for
I really think it was more like my father. Like, I think my father was also someone who worked very hard. He was a great athlete, and like, he told me when I was a little girl, like, "Hey, Ambra, if you want to get better, you have to start playing with guys, and if you want to be someone great, you have to put yourself in uncomfortable situations, because that's where you will grow. So get comfortable being uncomfortable." So this is how I think always. Like, I like to be uncomfortable. It's not nice, but it will help me grow. It will help me, get to that next level. So I think my dad was the one who pushed me, and also my sister. Like, I have a twin sister, and she's exactly the same as me. Like, she doesn't play football at the moment, but her mindset is the same. So I think it's partly, for a big part, because of our education. Like, and also, like, we are Capricorns, and I think we are like real Capricorns. Like, I mean, if we have something in mind, we will do it. If we say we will do something, we will do it. Like, we're very focused on our goals. So I think it's a combination of our personality, of being a Capricorn, and of the education. So, because my sister, like, she has other types of goals in life, but everything she does it perfect, or she does it on the highest level possible. So I think it was a combination, and I'm super thankful that my parents raised me this way. Like, I'm very, very happy. They always taught me to work for what I want. Like, it will not just nobody will throw it in your hands. You have to work for what you want to do. So yeah, that's actually the answer, I think.
I'm sorry, but this is so fantastic. It's the first time I hear in an interview that somebody said that because I'm a Capricorn or Leo or Virgo, I have this. But it's really nice and also understandable because it's part of your normal life to
Yes.
be this way, and you are putting in your sport or your passion or your thing that you're doing. Wonderful. And regarding that, I want to ask you, which is your NFL team and your NCAA team?
Okay, so NFL team. Well, to be honest, I really love to follow players instead of teams. But when I started to know about football, like my friends back then, they were all Patriots fans. So I I saw your faces.
It's
Bummer.
okay. It's okay. It's a great team. It's a great team. It's a great.
Well, yeah. And I actually really like Cam Newton, how he played last season.
Yes,
So,
yes, I love
right?
Cam Newton. I also
me
love
too.
Cam Newton. Yeah. And he's coming back. He's going to win a Super Bowl.
I agree. Like that's why. Like I grew up watching the Patriots because I didn't know any other team. You know, like when I was going to watch games with my friends, it was the Patriots. So I grew up with that. Like when I was starting to play football, I knew about the Patriots. So actually, since then, I've been following the Patriots. But as I said, I'd rather just love to follow some players. So
Okay.
yeah.
And college, you have a special one, or you? It's difficult to watch college here in Europe.
Yeah,
For
I
you?
don't really watch it, but I did watch the Netflix series like Last Chance You, and I loved it. You know about it, like the right Last
Yes.
Chance You. Yeah, crazy. I really love to see that.
It's the Lions. Yeah, I saw. There's
Yes.
several seasons.
Yeah, I mean there are several episodes. I just don't remember the team names, but I really love to watch it. But I don't have a favorite one, to be honest. No, I don't
Okay.
really follow it.
Okay, it's good.
It's a little funny that you mentioned Cam Newton, because as I was growing up, I didn't have like a team. I was more like you, like just following players. But then I started following the Carolina Panthers because that combination of colors, I just love it. And then I saw Cam Newton playing college football, and I went crazy. I said, like, no, this dude, he's like so good. And when he got to the Panthers, I was like so happy, like yes. And when they got it, I almost cried. But it's okay.
That's crazy. That's nice.
Okay, Ambra, you already talked about your expectations about 2022.
Yes.
Regarding the New York project and whatever. But you have a project right now. You mentioned that you are on the Italian league, and maybe it's a possibility that you can play.
Yes.
Let's think that you will play. What are your expectations about that?
Well, if I will play with guys, you mean if I manage to, yeah. It will be tough, but football is tough. I mean, life is tough. So, I mean, I'm prepared because I've been practicing with them for months. But actually, I have to admit, like the first months, they just were afraid to tackle me. Like all the time that I caught the ball, they would just touch me, and that's it. And I got like a bit mad, I was like, why you don't tackle me? Just do it. I'm part of your team. So, but I didn't say it. I just kept my mouth shut. I was like, okay, just let it. But last week I got an interview from a local newspaper, and I mentioned like, hey, they never tackle me. Like I'm just waiting for the first tackle. So they saw this interview, and since that time, like they're tackling me all the time. Like last practice, they even put me like running back. So they were like, okay, Ambra, if you're ready for tackles, let's go. So I really love that because, it makes me stronger. And so my expectations are like my team is, I think we have a pretty good chance to win. I will be nervous, for sure. I will be nervous. But I think the fact that the team supports me, I think I will be, walking on that field proudly. And I really can't wait. Like it's going to be amazing, but a little bit scary as well.
This is a very good feeling. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, are you doing special teams also, or only offense?
Yeah. Well, they put me playing like kickoff return. And also I tried kicker last week, and it's going pretty well because kicker. I played soccer. Yes, I played soccer. So
you have it in the blood.
No, like I never like told them. I was like, guys, can I just try to be a kicker? Like I played soccer, so let me just see if I can do it. And it was going so well. I was like, so if you need someone, I want to play kicker. Like if I cannot play the games with you, let me just at least do the kick.
You know that there is a woman kicker in the college football right now?
Yes,
Okay.
I know. Crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, she was supposed to play only one game, but then she ended up playing like a few games. I don't know, like 2 or 3, and she was the
Yeah.
kicker.
Sarah
And it
Fuller,
was like,
right?
okay, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
that's crazy. I saw her the first game that she played with the team, and it was like, oh, it was so emotional.
So
So
I
cool.
believe that the football will be inclusive and will bring the women's between and with a reserve, but
Yeah,
suddenly we will have a mixed team.
I really hope so, Coach.
Okay, Andy, you have another question?
I mean, not
Cover
really,
everything.
because Ambra, she talks a lot, and it's fine, it's okay. I'm the same way, but
That's why I made this very big fan from you, really,
it's
because
just so much
everybody
fun
is very interested.
talking to you. So I don't know.
Oh, sorry. I just okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm
Okay.
waiting.
No problem. Anything else you want to add to comment, Ambra? We are just getting the final part
um, I
where
don't know.
we can meet you in your social media contacts.
Yeah, your social media,
Yes, so like
Instagram, Facebook.
okay, yeah. So my Facebook, Coach Sergio has it, right? You have my Facebook.
Yes.
My Instagram, well, I have a temporary Instagram right now because my other Instagram got blocked for some strange reasons, but you can use it. It's like it's my first name and my last name, like Ambra Marcucci. Sorry,
Okay.
Ambra Marcucci 12, 1, 2.
Well,
Yeah.
that's your
Ambra
number. That's
Yes.
your number.
Yeah, that's my
Okay.
lucky number because it's my dad's number as well when he was a soccer
Your
player.
dad's number 12. Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
So well, I mean, do you like other sports also?
Well, right now I'm playing flag as well. I stopped
Okay.
playing flag when I started tackle, but I started again because in January this year, I got an invitation from a team from Morocco. Like these girls, these are the Jaguars. And we've been friends for a while because I got in touch with so many girls from all around the world because we have the same passion. And this girl, she asked me like, hey, we're going to play a tournament in Egypt of flag football. And, we need some players. Do you want to play with us? And I was like, yes, of course. I mean, for me, I will never think twice. I will just say yes. So I went to Egypt. Oh, look at her. So I went to Egypt in January to play a flag football tournament. It was the first African Ladies Cup. So it was Moroccan team, an Egyptian team, and an American team as well from Philadelphia. So it was a very big event. And I played for the Moroccan team. And actually, we won against the Americans, the Philly Phantoms,
Wow.
which was
Good.
crazy. So actually, when they this American team recruited me to play with them this season tackle football. So those are the Philly Phantoms. But the thing is, like, I have too many things going on. Like, I want to play with the guys, but I have this invitation from them to play in May already, which is next month, to play the season with them. The problem is that I don't know if the borders will open because right now the borders are closed between Italy and the United States. So I cannot travel. So I always like to have my plan A, B, and maybe C, D, E. So if I cannot go to the States, I will stay here and maybe play with the guys. But I'm just not answering your question. Your question was if I like to play other sports as well. So yes, flag right now. I play flag.
Yeah.
I will tell you like
Okay,
2
no.
months ago.
Actually, I was trying to go to
Another
maybe
sport.
ask you something about maybe who's the GOAT for you, Jordan or LeBron, something like that. But
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Who's better? Who would win 1-on-1?
So you're talking about basketball.
Yeah, I'm talking about
Yeah, that's
basketball.
I like LeBron. You know why? Because he was born on the same date as I was, which means he's like a
Really?
terrible
What?
Capricorn.
Okay. Okay. Another
So
Capricorn.
yes, and this guy is like I really like his the way he does things. Like he doesn't just play basketball. He also likes to educate children, do stuff for others,
That's
give back
nice.
to his community. So this is what I like about him. So I really like him. I really like LeBron. Yes.
Great.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, Ambra, really was an amazing talk. I was
you.
expecting something like this, and it's over expectations, really. Thank you for
I
everything.
appreciate it.
Today, we have a little bit late the program, but I think we have a lot of minutes extra. I told you only 30 minutes. We have 45. Very good.
Oh yeah.
And it was like nothing because it was very fast for us.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
I want to thank you again. And Andy, you want to say something to Ambra before we
No,
go?
just to be completely honest with you, as Chief said, this was completely over my expectations. Talking with you has been great. I think you're an amazing woman, an amazing athlete, and more people like you would make this world a better place. So
Thank you.
my father
I really
is
appreciate
right
it.
here. He wants to say goodbye. He
Yeah.
asked me to say
Of
goodbye to
course.
you, and I really hope that we get to talk. I don't know, and some other
We will have another
time,
time.
I
maybe.
would love
You
to.
have your first game. I will try to find you. I
Yeah,
will try
Oh
to hit
yeah,
your game.
that's crazy. Thank you so much for your support.
maybe we can go. Maybe we can go. You can give us the exclusive, and we're gonna go to one of your games at New York City.
Oh
That
yes,
would
of
be awesome.
course. Like I will try to make sure that you can come like without problems. I will try. I will definitely try.
We will find a way to find you. I
Yes,
told you I'll be
definitely.
fun and follow you, and I think we will find some place that we met again. Thank
Thank
you
you
for
so
everything,
much.
Indra.
Thank you. I
Gracias,
really appreciate
Andrés.
you.
And that's all for all today. Today we have this. Gracias a todos, amigos. Estamos en la próxima y buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
Thank you so much.
Café Americano.